Adesimama premo ato yamamu nyina ha. Omemu nsam ne ama hodo so de ayensaka. Ene se yaboaboa no ato din pramtobraka sebo a ye ne atiefu asi hu nkonwa yi. Utie free peace. 104.3 FM so okay. 101.7 NEAT 100.9. Nimi ansa wa se pass abaka Johnson Accra. Eno ati hello. 101.5 FM Odum Kumasi. Ghana man tem yedu nsia baby a wote yenkan. Kasa fidie be seduesia nim na etire kwamnone a be seduasa. peacefmonline.com ghana-today.com so abode etiefo benya bia kan. De di kase ebonimu akotene binie.
Omampanyi His Excellency John Dramani Mahama edi atudwa se Catholic Bishop Conference. Wonu omobeka bom aye adwumaso ne adwumaden.
The Catholic Church is known to have invested heavily in terms of schools.
Omampanyi His Excellency John Dramani Mahama wokoboko ena na rigu ekoshe na asumdwe hu nsem etimi agina. Na no ena Dr. Ayina yeyi ne so meye Attorney General so de atudwa se Whistleblower agency se wo Ghana ha nyina nesese yehwe na omutime yiri wo ho eye adwuma yi.
Of course, under the Whistleblowers Act, when you report and there's a recovery, you are entitled to 10%.
Honorable Gideon Buakunso de atudwa se e-levy ne betin no a aban pese wo yifri ho no IMF fo program no eka ho nti wo mo yifri ho ase wabu emra so ena wosoafo a ono de ohwesikasem ena afenso de wo hwa ahode ne so no wo mo nyina akopie di appointment committee of parliament anim na nipa bi o maben akire o madwene e de afa ho ketahye no proye no mu dream di aye kono ena Ghana Integrity Initiative de abosebo aba Omampanyi His Excellency John Dramani Mahama na ni so ade hunu a wo pese wo ye ene nkabom a wo mo de ebema no.
President Mahama what they see was omeboa na wadi akokata yema na mo
NSMP kan we no ho ne de so mo sekasebo e wo peace 104.3 FM so
na MTN kuta 4G plus ya our fastest connectivity sa our highest internet speed inti to MTN tebunete said mekoya da urumane se amansan tia me kwabena mafo ana
akosia ago abowaje afeka sebo no nsem no eni
na His Excellency John Dramani Mahama ana wode asede ni kabia edema Catholic Bishop Conference ya woda wonum wase wase ajampani se de ni no bo mo sene ye no edu abodi a yenyi din mfirimu ebra ya ba beto abeyi wo se asofu akukudamu a ewo Catholic Bishop Conference ya wode won se gu no so bo mpaye ma no se nkunimdi enya ne dia enu atisa bo mpaye sre twedi ampon kwa me se o ma asumdie ma abato ni mu ampa oye ne saa ma wonu mu pepepe na jampani se fa kwa akekere aboa no ewa na isa no enti wode asede ni kabia edema wonu mu se wo ma ya ade pa na Catholic fo de yenya wonu mu so se ba no o man kekere ye ni mpuntuo bebi a ya page friend ya ba bedru na wo madimu akotene pa na proposal ba kubia Catholic fo de ma no ene se wo hye ye mabunu emaba wa ne mrantie bebi a wo mu ko school ni ade yi a ye woni ama bi wo honom a esase ye de hye ya de suemu a ebetumi aboa wonum daate ena His Excellency John Dramani Mahama ede adesrede atu wonum anim se obi ani wanum a wo kirifo asem pakodo ante wo mu nyina besi nkonya obeto ato agena hye ne yamapa ye mfenwura ya de suemu a ebetumi aboa mebunu a obeti wonum so adwenkire.
The Catholic Church is known to have invested heavily in terms of schools. There are many mission schools all over the country. And when it comes to health too, the Catholic Church is present. You have several hospitals all over the country that are being administered properly and giving health care to people, especially in the hardest to reach places. And so in all this, government is willing to partner with you so that we can continue to work better. There are a few aspects that we want to engage further and discuss in respect to how we can enhance your participation in respect of the management of the schools that you have established. And we made a few proposals. I know before we left office there were some proposals that came. And so at the appropriate time, once we have the education minister in place, we would want him to sit with all the faith-based organizations that have, investments in the education space to begin to talk about how we can engage you more.
Na enwati His Excellency John Dramani Mahama to aso anu okyere se usa empenisi edija wa ne yede aso awo aban dada chemu no ese tumedie biase ya ya friend se agenda 111 ya sabia hodo bebre ya no wo sie wose wanto na jejemu obesi ni nyina wie na omanfo anya ho mfaso obi Baby a Catholic for hospital one anya so oba kosi foforo wo ho na mom dada no a wo nom no a obesem kina na hu aba mfaso amomanfo.
The issues to do with healthcare. And I remember one of the times when I was president, we met with faith-based organizations that owned hospitals. It was with the Christian Health Association, I remember. And the promise I made as policy going forward was that where we already have a missions hospital, government was not going to build another public hospital to compete. And so the money that would have used to build a public hospital would enhance the facilities in the mission hospital so that it can provide quality health care to the people. Unfortunately, we left office and Agenda 111 came in. There are many places where we have a good hospital, government is competing by building another hospital. And so we're going to look to see how we can collaborate in terms of managing those hospitals.
Dear Yati say Okase ya His Excellency John Dramani Mahama na watre say na administration ya wase dwuma asiye one Catholic Church ebeto abasakom apekwanpa obefa so a nkakra nkra bia ombagege ede aboaboa no amanchirima no ombeya na sa pepepe.
There's also the issue of getting the faith-based organizations to also go into the income generation space and promoting entrepreneurship. And so agribusiness, buying the produce of our farmers, processing it for the market and all that. And I think that it will help the whole agricultural value chain.
His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. Na Most Reverend Emmanuel Kofifiano, or your Vice President ma Catholic Bishop Conference, and na odia desredia ma mampeni se, na dawruma abatuo no ane ye ba betuo, ye to aba no, ene ye to aba no wechiri basabasa ebi e course no, oma ne nya na dihia, na won hwehwemu an kosi ase eniema e course wo. Afi adia ba kwa afra ne se galamse ya sense o mai komu a ubia mpedin ate no eno so wan se na yentu ase akura sanse damage ya damage environment ni yensu no enya adepa.
We also wanted to talk to you about the illegal mining that has come to stay with us practically for a long time. We know it is something that we must all fight for the good of the environment, for the environmental protection, and we are pleading that your government to take a serious look at the situation and also help to curb it.
Dear Yate say Okase ye Most Reverend Emmanuel Kofifiano, or your Vice President ma Catholic Bishop Conference. Yenu sarama atiku kwa pentila daroma. And see a tea for TB.
Omampani His Excellency John Dramani Mahama watutuana mo edinsahwe kopie boko ena narerigu eneya na ni nyina ne se wokwa kwakwahwe na asomdwe ho nsem ba bi esese ye de to ne ye de ato e se wo mote se penche ne sakasaka bia ma ne musu wo ho a ye pese ye kɔ ne ye kosiesie na enema da ba bi da kama na nsa na mampani ebekɔ no omo ye short military ceremony bi na asrafo wo mo eto santene ye ne se fata e wo Jubilee Presidential Departure Lodge ho e ma bibia kɔso anope ma wo hwehwe ni nyina awie ansa na wo firi ho e de akɔ Tamale na wafa boko na wakɔhwe ho nyina na asomdwe ho nsɛm agina na nsa na wɔbɛkɔ no wɔne asrafo no ɛkasae sei ɛna His Excellency John Dramani Mahama ɛka no.
this last election has cemented our reputation as the leading democracy in Africa. And a good part of the thanks go to you, the security services, who have maintained the peace. We still have threats to our peace that we must continue to look at internally and externally. Internally, to do with chieftaincy disputes and some incidents of armed robbery and things like that. Externally, to do with the threats on our northern borders. And so we cannot let our vigilance down. There should be no vacuum. And so you must all continue to work, as the CDS said, zealously, to make sure that there's no breach of the peace in the country. We're working hard to set up the Council of State so that we can start to put the controlling boards of all the services and all the government parastatals in place. And so once we have the Armed Forces Council and the Prisons Council and all of them set up, all your service councils, we're sure that we'll begin to look at how to manage things in respect of any outstanding issues that exist. But in the meantime, I expect you all to work very closely together like you've been doing, and continue to keep the country safe for all of us, and to ask you to continue to work in the interests of the people of Ghana.
We Omampanyi His Excellency John Dramani Mahama Salamat Kuku Apento ND Ebreye na Professor of Economics Ewo Department of Economics Ewo Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology ye Professor Otin Abeye Nasima wodi atudwa ne se aban hyehyɛ ahodo a wode ba no ba ko obeka ne se ye frɛ bibi expenditure rationalization sika na wudie no se wo hye se wo bedi ne pepepe wonye ho adwuma keta hyehyɛ wo so obetu ase no eno so ye ene ye frɛ bibi tax administration eto a wo gigie no eno so ho tutu yɛn nti sɛ aban si obeyi e-levy free ho na betting tax no wayi de free ho de ne sa ne ma no aban de nani eku ho a ebetimi aboa pa na Dr. Kesel Atoforsen a wono ne apo ne din so ma yoso afo hwe sikasam so no kasa ekyirem sa ampa aban asigina sɛ sa taxes ya me boss yebeyi ne nyina free ho ɛna Professor Wotin Abeyi ebo amane sɛ sɛ wobeyi sa taxes no free ho de a sɛ yehu sɛ ye wonkrofo bebre wo ho a wo ntua to eti sa e-levy ya mu utue sika kakra wo diska komo obi a na wo so atua kakra de ama oman no eti sa nkrofo no kwan ebefa so mo so betua bibi de ama yei na ede beye mpumto no so yade bi sɛ aban ehwe pa efse Ghana ha enipa bebre ye adwuma wo mo fa kapre ema aban he mesi ni wo koye adwuma egunu botom obi wa woton ade egunu botom enti sa ne ma ne nyina na so sɛ wo send sika de a ye betew kakra wo bo aban aba so sɛ road tolls na wo san se wo de eba no wo ne ɛyɛ adwene pa ebetimi aboa na kakra bi kra ne free mu ba ye betimi de asiesie yakwan
etuo bi o wa sɛ how ade a opese etuo ne ye no ntimi nyɛ target nti bia e-levy ni e pe 6 million a obehwe ne nya 6000 pe na nso so enu nti obi a pese obesendi momo tie yesa na amadwadie so ati sɛ sa na tie de ne wuyi sa tax ni free okra na ebe pushi business more asense tax no wo ho government agencies state owned agencies CEOs dodo about say appoint almost etimi te so a ene ho conditionalities a eno so etimi generate sika so betimi akwa mu enye no nko si etimi si corruption ano a eno so sika yira free mu emframa mu ni ade no betimi so akwa mu amayaye enka ho ade pa ko a oman ha ye yie eye bibi e frɛ no tax administration no ye mutu ekwan e fa so agigi eto ene kwan e fa so ebua enyumanyuma motivate omomo mutua tax
wie na Professor Wotin Abeyi ebo aban aba so for road tolls na wode eba no na wo kire mu se e-levy no sa aban so obeyi free ho kra no ebe ha dwene kakra fi se IMF fofo no yedi eti ko hye wo mase no na eka de efe na IMF conditionalities no miye we ama wa wonso se wo yese no eno so eka ho bi eti esese ye hwe no pa fi se informal sector no wo ma wo muntua taxes no na e-levy ninti wo mutimi tua bibi kakra de ma aban na wie na wo tu aban efo se ye giraye bi a esese wo hwani ye pa ansan wasi
yeto so ye reintroduction of road toll eno so ye ade bi a eho hia ye because oman bi a bekoso bia no anya kura de highway die wo se ogigi toll na kwan no mpo se ya wanya sika dia ye yes sika no no mo gigi toll na ba bi oso mo de komo fa nko sa assembly no oso mo de komo fa ni nyina nko we na akogu private person bi an botom e wo sie kwan e wo se de technology bam oman we ye man bi a ye wo large informal sector dodo na ntua tax nti wo pese o ye to hye ya na ho adin ye esan say business registration obrokra register business and still on tax businesses be movie call online platforms so kwan be fa so akwaji sika free online platforms that's why den pa enti eye e-levy a ye free ono yes sika bi be free ho enti heni be nya sika na free
Any ye Professor of Economics, Department of Economics, Ewo Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology, or no ena yete nenenwa wo church mu de sesa ban ya sika eyim ene tintim edesom ye.
Na yane Professor ba konso beka sente bia. Ono economics ya owo University of Ghana Business School. Professor Godfred Bopin oyobia wabin ye pa. Na asem we de tene yo manfo anim sam dada finance minister designate honorable Dr. Kesel Atoforsen wasaya mrasebejeni we crampo I think way back ebra wo mo ya campaign no and na his excellency John Dramani Mahama ka say obeye president ya eto bi wo hono mu a ha agene into a friend nuisance taxes ebi ye e-levy ena ebi ye betting tax ebi ye COVID-19 levy sa levy sia emfa so bie ni so a wotu din sense no no so obetem na enra Dr. Kesa Atoforsen ya se ya bonidin o meye sikasam so afoko pie committee anim en wotre se ne budget ya edikan ade nkrom kan 120 days ne budget edikan ya wode be ko parliament no betting tax ye betem e-levy ye betem aniama bebre ho no mu a emu a ebeyi afiri ho afei inflation se bia ukreska bebre kodwa so a niama ketua bi na betumi ato no ebeye tebutu ukuteska ketua bi abekọ akoto niama bebre dollar ni cedi no nso ho adwuma bɛyɛ unemployment nso ato obeta na asɛm ya working ɛne ya waka ba sɛ betumi ayɛ hɔ ana sɛ ntumi nya hɔ no ɛna yɛ pempenimfo agye nkyerɛ kakra deɛ medi nka bo ne din no me sɛ ɔyɛ economist ɛwɔ University of Ghana Business School ɛfrɛ no Professor Godfred Bopin ɔpɛni afisia po awurade asomdwe nka ho
afisia fa combating and free na
afisia say ni ya won kwane ahoden
ewo yesu din
na
ya cancel e-levy ni ya cancel COVID-19 ya kan no ase
ai na sa Egypt fu a ye hu onum ye hu omu bio afia temu ya no na di dwuma sa di besinne ya dase erade nsra wo pa se ya fra wo brebi a wo je yeso yo ai betting tax ni e-levy sadi o manfo kakra me kra na me yimaseme ya se ye yi free one ma kapa ya bebo no menim sa na tie
bibia aban pese all bibia no it will hold some cost. There are some sacrifices here what we have to go through. But memo alone, say a cast against sacrifice here, we don't include the government. And sometimes you look at our memo as a social critical now, a chroma are the abandoned one and one. Hello.
From Pacho Yetiu Pa.
Aban kwan na ho atere no COVID by aban kwan na affected no say affected one so it affected households it affected business na dia and to recover from the shocks of COVID in Russia Ukraine na dia now you can enough one what we need to do is to find a delicate balance between the ability of the government to finance its operation, whilst we also preserve cash flow. Emma household, any business, not we now to keep the running. Since COVID by the social taxes are here introducing. Any tax rate by Africa, country in where we can say it compares to Ghana. But even though they are introducing all these taxes, the ocean our tax to GDP ratio, it hasn't increased substantially. It hasn't. In a certain sense, in economics, you have to tax buoyancy. In a certain sense, ocean, the multiplicity of all these taxes and the burden on Ghanaian households and businesses, I don't think that we can continue on this path. I'll give you a couple of examples. The over your VAT, we have the standard VAT rate, and we are 15%. The Udianunqua compare across Africa, Obeka's standard pool is one of the lowest. But then we have the state levies. State levies of about 6%. Do this as 6% to make up 6%. You are talking about something 21%. But effectively, it's actually around 21.9%. And you can imagine, say, just buying something, the taxes on it alone is 21.9%. We are not even talking about going to buy fuel. If you go and buy fuel, the taxes in the price build up. Wow. When you import something and you clear it from the port, just look at the layers of taxes. That is not the only thing. Then having done all of this, then if you want to transfer money through a certain medium, the state wants to punish you by using that medium. I'm talking about e-levy. But if you decide to go and withdraw the cash from the bank to make that payment, the state is saying that that is a good way to live your life. No. Which one do we want to promote? Do we want to promote a cash-based economy or a cashless economy as a way of formalizing your economy, as a way of increasing financial inclusion, as a boosting growth? So, OSHA, from a theoretical point of view, from a conceptual point of view, and from application point of view, e-levy should not stand. UFA e-levy, let's take them one by one. In 2024, e-levy was expected to bring in a little about 2 billion. Hello?
From Patomitiupa.
E-levy was expected to bring in just a little about 2 billion. Actually, DRA has exceeded its target. So e-levy is 2 billion cedis in the best. Okay. So you will play one more. The next important question is, how do we close this gap? Okay. What expenditure cuts, wasteful expenditure cuts, can we do such that it will not hurt growth? I will take your mind back to one basic one. The OSHA, the Appropriation Act 2023, allocated to the seat of government, what they call government machinery. You know how much allocated to that office?
Not also.
It was more than 2 billion cedis. That is almost how much e-levy is bringing. But if you look at the staff strength at the time, in 2021 alone, the staff strength at Jubilee House was more than 920. We don't need all of that. Yes. The question is, are the various ministries, departments, agencies scattered across this country cannot do? This is what we call wasteful spending. And I didn't want to be a it will create a loss. Oh, really? Is it only government that should benefit from this economy? No. The economy does not exist solely for the government. Now say I want to trap benti eduane kaka won wo a wo ye eja no ye nuama on dey kola ne jomu it doesn't matter because you are the head of the house. No, we cannot govern that way. Unim baby. On man penny or also the CA or can send it there some an oil campaign. On no or ye promise no. But say it can be the gap can be closed. They've been there before. No, say some we cabinet minister on the average, I'm spending more than 5 million Ghana cedis. Can you imagine? And the cabinet receipt, elephant, and they are moving all. Why do we spend that much?
But Prof, na ayi Dr. Gideon Buaku, no kura supon kaminya no anka mibisa no say, sa levy ne betting tax no wonim say. IMF program wa den na wase wo ba wo betwem no anko mu betwem na but na sam no a wo ka say IMF won hyehyɛ no how ye be dey ye free ho
oni bibi president na ka say omo be yi 11 free ho only free ho we will be in this country. IMF will be here. The IMF will not kill us. Only me. On my I'm a body. A yes. It's a young cancer. On mine, say a petty buno. Yes, we will lose this tax revenue. But Osha already, President has signal said he is not going to govern with the number of ministers President Kufuor govern with. He is merging some ministries. Annually, he is saving more than 30 million Ghana cedis. Are we not making progress? Hello, we are making progress.
Aye.
Unim bibi. Say you can't say boomaya. In your tax award you. Boomaya and business are waiting me grow. How you grow your economy? That is what we call governance. And to say we, for instance, we 11 free more. More people will do momo. The digital economy will grow. The digital economy they grow. Not the momo, MTN momo. No mama kena. Omunya more profit. Omunya more tax. Hello, omunya more tax.
Umbetia tax no.
Ode me and question baby. Unim baby. You fin near mantem. Let's take our mind back to 2017. Let Gideon Buaku come and tell us. Why is it that in 2017 MPP passed? Only the number of taxes the MPP for you free in 2017. Now, bro, 10. Now, doesn't say your mama so they yesterday. We just go and check 2017. There was VAT on financial services 17.5, VAT on airline tickets, VAT on this, tax on this. Now, doesn't papa. Who they correct 2017 budget? Omuyi waiting in April. The fiscal loss never 2 billion cedis. This was 2017 at a much lower exchange rate. At that time, there was IMF program, any IMF program. We were under an IMF program, but the MPP government kept to their word. In 2016, during the campaign, the MPP government told us that they will move the economy from taxation to production. They identified the taxes that they said they would remove. When they came to power in 2017, they eliminated them. They abolished them. Some of them, they also reduced their rate. You can, any question say, we are losing money from this. Removing these taxes, now, we are using it to promote businesses. We are using it to grow the digital economy. You may lose 2 billion cedis. But if you grow the economy over a long period of time, you actually end up collecting more money than what we are losing right now. Let the NAM and the yin now.
Yeah. Prof, way, sir, and Kofway, I will say, maybe a fitany. Menya economics ya me fit enti bye metna wana metine wudi se sa yasi afre wo no Britain asa wo mudi wo nsa fefu ani asia but asa no mudi moko wani bi ana imagine na ya mesa
oh there ye hu ni say yen say wrong Mimi say a bank cancel or back cancel in Libya. I am a performer boom for you. I am a Ponakata West Juma, or one son West Juma. Said levy is not good for the economy. I am a Ponakatan son West Juma. Me assure say, some and I negotiating that program with. Think I bind in the 90 form. Say, oh, levy is a I am a friend cancer levy. Omun cancer levy. Share your vata and then all the straight levies come home. I pay 21%. IMF cannot justify that. Because one can stand with Juma, express VAT rate, you know, they are more than 18% are counterproductive. It's up to us. So we almost set the target amount on your maintenance. And then sometimes they give you flexibility of the combination you want to use to achieve that. So a lot depends on that. American say, oh sorry, you see, unim unsaku obra and I only very good.
Aye.
Let's learn to wash our own hands well. And IMF will not have the leverage to impose this on us, this on that, and all of that. And I can assure you, look, and I am confident that the government will keep their word. They should eliminate these taxes. IMF program will be here, will be in this country, we will make progress.
Now,
me and Fan Koshe IMF. In 2023, a bank country IMF was we can close the gap on the energy sector shortfall. And the one way of raising money was to introduce VAT on electricity consumption.
Aye.
VAT on electricity consumption.
And you can't see them peneno.
You can't say I am a moment I come.
There be woman, yes.
A bank can say, oh, IMF, that can say, when CUC, no more marking, I can't say record demonstration. Did the government implement it?
There be what you say.
I am a moment I come.
There be.
Master, the about assembly can't say. Or may I am for this. When for yesterday we are pitting ourselves against the IMF. This is a sensible thing to do and grow your economy. The digital economy is expected to grow faster than the traditional economy. The future of money is increasingly digital. The future of business is increasingly digital. The future of currency is increasingly digital. The future of finance, the future of economics is increasingly digital. Why would you impose tax as a restriction on that growth driver? And it's as simple as that. Okay, but I can't say, Mr. Only
Prof. Matthew.
You produce gold, pa.
Aye, will good.
Yes. Unim said Ghana is one of the leading countries when it comes to gold smuggling. Africa. Gold smuggling. Gold that to develop our country. We extract the gold. We are smuggled through Benin in Togo. Near Cotton. We are losing the tax revenue. So that.
And I don't know account to my account.
Debbie. Now gold, where will be that?
There be it be when says at the dank of work woman.
Mamika Central. Yeah, a home analysis, Kakra. Do you know how much that you lose annually from this gold smuggling? It's over $2 billion.
Wow.
It's over $2 billion. Only say, and now you can say, over 85% of Ghana's gold export is to United Arab Emirates.
Wow.
The bulk of it are smuggled. When you smuggle the gold, we lose the tax revenue.
Wow.
And until I check Galamsey, you see how Pia and the Nisa check Galamsey. The whole economy, the gold economy. And yes, smuggle, now they are the since Unya are buying your yes serious. Okay, my main can't tell. When say NGC for manifesto, or more can say, or more set up gold board. Gold board. Part of it is to deal with the smuggling. When say MPP form so, I can tell you in their manifesto say they will reduce the final withholding tax on gold exports for small-scale artisanal mining from 3% to 1% so that it will discourage smuggling. This country is losing billions, millions of dollars through gold smuggling. We are not thinking about how we can close that so that that revenue can be used to develop this country. Now, we will see our tax area. I will send it to Kakakra, come on, money will fee, and I say, we say, any other, who you require any more fee, who send it, Momo command is on Fanco market, ya tax.
Prof, that's it.
We want our face upward.
Prof, that's it. Yabasa bankomo no adepa me gidi se yabasa to aso yadase pa fisia pabio etiefo de atene kase a professor Bopin no yobia wa binye pa economics University of Ghana Business School ono na ene no ekasai
Kwabena metonso mampani His Excellency John Dramani Mahama Obama ne National Health Insurance Scheme levy no ayetua no obehye na budget for free beba no wo mo ayi eso na edaso no afri ho na yetimi akoye nimu saa National Prayer and Thanksgiving Service ekoso no na waka sansemi ne no na Senior Manager Communications and Media Relations dema NHIA Oran Naftali Chebafo Obama ne His Excellency John Dramani Mahama sama waka no eye pa if say NHIA levy no say ye share na se budget na eba no ye yi eso no ye de ato ne free so na etimi kɔ nanimu a ebeboa mampomdi hu dwumadie akonkan
it is cut by 20%. Nti uhwe mana so hanchi mo be aduonu na eya na oyi free so. We current budget na think it's about 6.8 billion. Nti o cap 20% na. Na say no kra no we yi about 1.3 billion. Akebiti na ye niema bebre amayen. Ohwe ye tariffs na de bia na service providers ni be air complain say chiedu na ye sika sem so edua. We are always able to meet up with ye service providers no sanitaries ni na sitie ene yade bia na sakade ne ahodo a efili sese enya cover no fully akibetini ahani aye san hye we nyina ye hye ya de dialysis ni ade be kan ho no tie gide sese cap we through wa sene omampani akana kayade a ebeboa pa ne bie ni nso obabi ahodo a sebe ye nsanya nkata so ye no etime de yensa atoso ye netini aboa sene universal health coverage ni sitie no enka all barriers ni nyina as far as accessibility to quality of care is concerned, a bit may ye from abo bibia.
Run Naftali Chebafo to us to say Bimusi I free dialysis program near Cham no senya no cre, a gusua air cosunti tin sembisa ye montungu.
Many can say that is send them from a moon so says and free dialysis near Tremonia dear, which I per for conius mobia CSM. What's your baby? Say free dialysis near Tremor and no correct. Free dialysis no egusu ding. More I are sabia marco bear a drum a year 20 for now, ye no a shibuno and you guswa and your yes, a tumano. Ye share them say a drum for Robert County, I bear 14 health facilities. The best obibi any of these 20 facilities are there to the amount central for near this all over. The begin is the Kebiano, the best rest of the pursue NHI. Na iyo
Enia yeti ye communications and media relations officer dema NHIA senior manager communications and media relations Oran Naftali Chebafo ena yeti nenkano
na energy minister yabonitin ye honorable John Abdullahi Jinapo nanra onosu kopie mu wo appointment committee nanimu a odin sembi etu da wa yese and she say bi kura nam kwan so a ba kire se Electricity Company of Ghana omaduma na wo ye no omu behia ankura so mbebembi na omu ababeboa e friend say private sector involvement ewombi na executive director ma Institute for Energy Security Nana Amuesi ya otoso enso ene nana monkomo kakre nana official po erade asumje nka wonso yedase ebrebi ebefro bia woje yeso na yedase pa energy minister trese yehia private sector na omudu omu ho abese ECG edwuma na omu ye ni mu yenti ase ebisi wo mu ton enti proof okra de krata ba se waso obeton de ane enkekure enkonteni ye nyina ebisi o da bi eye edwuma ni bi na wo mu ba beye na nade na no opa akire
yo all the kind mada nkwanya na studio magede day on shafu okasa ndada on my year once today you look at various models not the one power for na nkofuna to why you president every kind area obeye na ba ma edwuma with them into one kade or return ECG na one kade was the kita wa so or just what the mara me pay for the pound one as committee or better example was the most fitting a model now not to they will go alongside with the public because one jar or man phone in Sinchine no kade or one more transparent they matter open say intimidate the day crime biado so be watching sebia in Brenada Ghana for Panya Obetsa watching obviously means as to be not per day obviously sa what soon so obviously what you say be operator ya nara yan right that's a baby my wife is suma if I'm papa do to they show the approval with some Kenya by watching on webin and so be the year do the young prayer young queen to yasham yafo of the one Bible Smith here they been part I think him on put the committee no so do and share water mount carry a pentem then so a good crew and so I think the statement was quite clear yet the one for years saying giant to walk you the best fitting model for Sunday it would be painted or yeah not to be very star now obia what kind of way going on from China no today we are guided by history PDS by ECG but what ye nan konya the boy nemo kanya wo lack of due diligence one to wobu when people ni inara one dot eyes no one dot season and one paper na so yin bi kakaske kan wo ma adi na TPNC I'm sure we are guided by this and if government nakasa so pediya na labo street PDS much more pay na by ma bokwan bi na so am wa hwewon wa ye da magana
na menimu ade se me na magene ya mesaa o se wo se ECG asa wo institutions ye wo Ghana ha baby a problem wo kase pa ne ho because meter kwan a wo mu fa so mu kwagege bills meter ni bi kura wa system no mu a wo mu so wo mu nim obi atumi to bi no de abebobọ baby a wo pe meter bi a ye de aba emirika tu onye mirika ketwa asa wo mbi bi a ya nwonwonan na menim sa me na magene ya mesa na uhunu sa
Jamafo meje da wankasa esikron kakra experience journalist nti making institute prepare mbo tsimen kasem de mamenyimu oye na pa ECG meter osei ne su no osei ne ban sa kroy anda tenya ekoye kru na kroy wa ya gandi the way they would want from how do they communicate also go plan sa import the meter by also in kuma import yi by awa onwe ya kan na wa mo akonya na wo say import bi aba na ne papa will den ata wo bi bu kontra onya da what to form but the my political like your friend then what you the politics that figure because some when you get them nanka wa politics nanka one kind of generation import and that transmission for distribution na ono the this can not shamo obia na chakwa kabi transmitter na sakanede generator na sakanede fuel supplier obia na sakanede na yedi zago ya gwana de mo faba gutter to gutter board and there you can see osromita or prepaid meter na or who be brave but about to make a prepaid meter different type and you can be do a bit to prepaid meter on toy light after no to do after no to don't light
wala sha
nay what the mana or ye na me tell you what I'm kind only record you put
there be
and if you put one baba na wanyi wo do ma keka kaka ope vote no wo dimite bi aba MPP no over want to ope vote no wo dem won kofo na meter or run power free no only ra it's not recorded in that any district not saying I'm kind get for the free let them halfway the etonsumpo the anko not say if I can't tank na it in two boom direct now, thank you, leak. The bear Shahaima in Sierra Lika. Almost my bed, they could show what I was for come.
Debbie.
I have by that you see, Obiara, Shanachada.
Nana, a crowd was say, good for year policy, or say, obey review, and now torso, will be per strategic partner. Na, or the Noah Bissim. And that was soon then.
Oh, yeah, good for your program. Apadama Fee, Obadigo, or my thing once a day. Wash and what the them program was so. I found going no back of food, but I found no work or so to do. No, so we make sure that a program needs to shut the Gibiara and cover the marathon program not to when you're good reserve. And then beside that. See, last week, 10 days, there have been day shortage in Yukrumana.
A bill or her.
Who was shortage? I can't say. Mijina no mabo girl. No, I come out to boy. Eyamaku, and then answer. What is that thing you want your few when you did that?
I abandon a command.
Abandon commanding. My papa, my atomic rabbit, my corner when you power. Maraman, you want to remember what you want an answer. What when you be. And then I'm saying, oh, that was one night of wood. What peer diesel? Na petrol, what the cocoga, I want to shut it up. And go for your program, but no why. Shut it now, Barbie. After I went to go for your program, it was February 2023 and 24, I think so. 1 year. First cargo back February ended. What sample was up to market, first window of March. Fuel price, no, 15 Ghana city. And the fuel price, dying, which I think is that almost 15.99, 15 Ghana, what's the fuel price is that? The measurement, now what to the crew, and what are done up to 12 to the 76 west in the year for $9. Okay, based on what has the goal for your program achieved? FBR and continue booking your money into Saban to reviewer. When two men jam and cut our council, the Ghana review banner, say much at the council. A year FBR who review a woman, FBR, baby, yan showing to 1 year Montina. That the master is Chadaza, not for 2 years and Bangwa, yan for different model, remember. Oh, yes, I'm more friendly. It's one share now. I think we are Midday or my opinion. Akan. Ever master I Juma. What's one after good friend and another Midday about. So we repeat the same thing. The more friend knows to one on your friend go pick. Now, ye jam chroma or this word on near. Or science today. That's a gun, a woman, one walk from war or go near. Not a damn time and they import oil through Tesla, mobile, Nanyama, a chip, whatever, or General one day, or speak none of this. Not that king, Yanya Yapangua, while near mine. even though that time it was forced to import the fruit. The more referring to one also, or your home training machinery. Can you see? Nanaka Funara, a one would train one. And then Ghana put you around the thermal power plant. Nagana gas when you go from Warana, when you know of the Tamara refinery. And the buffer told no be your national services to us to work. That's the Korean person was from na computers no web game to be around engagement. Now, but over national service was told 1 year not the field, there's no question about it. And so it must be revived at all costs. Yes, so by bringing out for my importation of oil. We enjoy much of this to climate and to the number 10 years. We must also have a stake in that. The young to shadow holder, that's a private sector participation. Our company's convention of what Ghana was sick, not sure you have room kaka. Okay, yet, you bring 10% of toll and for so and they get 100% of toll 4 years or your cow. On your must your staff cow. On your must your insurance.
Faswobia niso. Faswobia niso. Ah, Nana edase. Enkomo na fe na ebubo benti yebekọ so adia free break obre no a edase pa. Etiefo we Executive Director ma Institute for Energy Security Nana Amuesi the 7th.
Yo. Na Dr. Dominic Ayene ayaboni di so me so afọ no be sha attention so Minister for Justice designate na wo dia tudwa se the friend whistleblower agencies na no ma ho kwan ema wo bekasa asemasi na ketahye bi koso ha obi dis ka bi wa ha sa de na ye pa na itimi konditi ketahye ne proye ite se oman ne ye tachiri se enya nkrabata wo mantam ne nyina mu efise sa wo bua ma niema bi anipa bi awia ye nsa to so a ye wo de ye nso ye de be ma wanye bi 10% ebe ye wo dia ite se dwuma Of
course, under the Whistleblowers Act, when you report and there's a recovery, you are entitled to 10%, a percentage. And I remember that in this case that I've cited, the whistleblower was actually paid. The Honorable Attaché, eventually, if you want to, cross-check what I'm saying, you can ask him. The Honorable Attaché represented the whistleblower in his pursuit of the 10%. We agreed to pay when MPP took over. There was some hanky-panky, and then the whistleblower had to go to court. So that is an incentive, for whistleblowers to report. So, Mr. Chairman, we need to operationalize and make sure that the anti-corruption institutions, the anti-corruption measures permeate all the way to the local level. That, during the revolution, of course, there were excesses. But during the revolution, the Honorable Cletus Avoka is here. Those days when we were young men in Bolga, they were the revolutionary lawyers. And of course, the reports, they caught many people, civil servants, public servants, engaged in bribery and embezzlement. And they were tried by the tribunals and in some cases by the courts. In some cases they were sacked.
Eni Dr. Dominic Ayene ayaboni di so mayo swafo a obehwe attention so William Gentu ena Emmanuel Akole ena dia maneboyi ebae.
Na Ghana Integrity Initiative ena ebo His Excellency John Dramani Mahama Baso eni so ade hunu no opepa wanya se obekọ atia katasese ne proye. Fundraising manager ma Ghana Integrity Initiative aye owura Mark Ebuati ebra woni peace news kasa no wotre se ba akofo ansa so se die mpa entumi nsu nyame ni kata tie behia wo manfo nso moa ye nyina ya mo aban no na kata se ne proye won kontia
President Mahama what they see was Omeboa na Wadia Kokata. Ubibekesi, a Kasa, Timupo, what the Kasa, when the Kaka. Now, what came now? I was no, Yama, Nida, na Yaboya. As I say, what can the follow or the Timupo at work? Now, let's start for Amwana, or Cocoa, or Kosifi. You, Mambayin, Aka, Yaman. So na aka ne se young Ghana fu nyinara ye jedi se kata se edi nya no ye beboa
ya ba boa na no atina oro abodi etrese wonim se nipa bebre de won krata akwa wonum pa appointment ni di bra obekwa akoya aduma nanso esasa watase ne sabesipa ne nkoni na aban wonya ketewe sie bia eyete dodo wurawura enipa no a woserati wo mu no wonya careful pa na ebi adufu de pe
Sɛ obia ɛde ne very ba sɛ ɔde pɛ adwuma ɛno ne de ɛnyɛ bɔne na nea nipa ne bɛyɛ sɛ onya adwuma no anaa wode adwuma no hyɛ ne nsa ne nyinaa egyina nhyehyɛe a ɛyɛ yɛwura president ɔde bɛto akwan mu ɛne ɛyɛ the will to enforce nhyehyɛe no enti sɛ wobɛkɛ sɛ to ɛyɛ obi sɛ ɔba na ɛbɛyɛ business as usual deɛ a dabi ɛno de yɛwura Mahama ɔka ɛyɛ kɔkɔ no wabo nipa no nanso saa akɔkɔ no ɛnyɛ adwuma sɛ ɔno ankasa anhyɛ ne sapo mu nso sɛ ɔbɛtu anamɔn a ɔno ankasa aka sɛ ɔpɛ sɛ ɔtu no na wa enforce the decision anaasɛ ne vision to fight corruption na ɛbɛyɛ kasaa kwa.
Na last but not the last ɛna wɔsɛ to president for say ebra awɔyɛ campaign no ne nsɛm a wɔkan de bia wɔma ne nwrengu ne tirim eba ne kata asese ne proye ho ko a ne wɔmfa wɔse anye wɔyɔ
ɔno ankasa na ɔkɔhyɛ bɔ ɛwɔ ɛyɛ UK anti-corruption summit ɛyɛ 2016 sɛ anka ofi anti-corruption summit na bedu a ɔbɛhyehyɛ saa mmara no ɔbae no wɔantimi anhyehyɛ ɛna ɔde fi so enti no sankɔfa wɔ nkyi ɔnsan hwɛ n'akyi na ɔhyɛ bi a ɔhyehyɛ ɛfa ɛyɛ anti-corruption ho a besi saa mmere no ɔman no ɛmfa saa bɔhyɛ no ɛnyɛ adwuma no ɔnsan kɔfa ɛsan sɛ saa bɔhyɛ no nyinaa na ɛyɛ bɔhyɛ pa nanso ono amfa nye adwuma rade ama no eye second chance onkofa sa abɔhyɛ no no fa nye adwuma na ɔde yɛ adwuma na ondi so on make sure say obey enforce sa eye conduct of public officers bill so ɔhyehyɛ na sɛ odi so a ɛbɛboa akokata ahyehyɛ
the ayate say okase a fundraising manager ma Ghana Integrity Initiative ora make bodi yenua Abdullahi Dasmani na we ni ejina so ahome kase bonu so tia wabi ebebe sisia
so wakoma ho hyehyew ana ebo periperi de broni kan hardware no a ede na sɛ woyɛ na sɛ woyam so atim so
wo be pack na farmer Martin's liver salt akira kwai entem ahwie nsu agu glass mu ate Martin's liver salt no ba ko ano na wo de agum
wo be hu sɛ ehuru wa glass ni mu na wanom Martin's liver salt ye won orange flavor ana ba ko so ye plain
wonumu a ho beto nemum edi nanu na ho nto wo a ko hu doctor.
Tune it in, turn it up,
Peace FM,
and rip off the knobs.
Yama etiefo akwaba kase bonu wasi amansan tiame kwabena mafo ena
akosia ago abowaje
MTN kuta 4G plus ya so compared to other networks no a when you fast pa enti yase okuta fastest connectivity and our our highest internet speed in to so MTN tibonete and na beboa wetumaye me mind tea kwaso woni tfm maybe amakwafo abekwa Grace Santana obetna so KFM na ena ye benada wia make the triple darling otna se ade edwa abomonyuma yetumadi enka ye nyina to amoso kama awrade asomje enka mu nyina.
Tune it in, turn it up,
Peace FM,
and rip off the knobs.